happy with the second half? You guys played really well in the first half. What do you think changed just in the second quarter?
Yeah, I think that they just decided to make the game ugly. You know, and defensively, you know, besides being more aggressive and just running and jumping and scrambling, is what their defense was. You know, I think that changed on their end. On our end, you know, for the most part, and I may feel differently about this once I go back and analyze, you know, I thought our quote-unquote press break was okay, but then we didn't finish. And then the main thing, once we started missing chippies and easy shots and layups, it immediately led to transition baskets for them. Our transition defense was horrible today, in the second half at least. Our transition defense was horrible because we missed a bunny, and then all of a sudden they're off and running and getting the easy shot down the other end.
John, when you're up 22 early in the second half, is there something you can say to your team to kind of keep them engaged and make sure they don't take the foot off the gas?
Yes, let's stay engaged and don't take the foot off the gas. I mean, this is Big East basketball. You know, I don't think it was a question of us becoming disengaged. I have to give them credit just because they like I said, Cooley decided to jump the game up a little bit, and even with that, like I said, we several opportunities where we got the ball right to the rim, the ball didn't go in.
John, how good was it to see overall for the game 53% shooting, especially in that first half?
It was very good. I think our guys, the last two games, have done a very good job of sharing the ball. You know, we're making the extra pass, we're setting pretty good screens, we're cutting hard, which is then opening up our teammates. But I think the guys are doing a good job of searching for shots for their teammate instead of searching for shots for themselves.
When you're missing one of your better players, as a coach, do you have to be cognizant to try to get those points from somewhere, get those rebounds, get that production, or do your guys just kind of step up?
Both. I mean, both. I mean, you know, obviously Greg is one of our better players, and we miss him. You know, that being said, you have to adjust, adapt a few things strategically as a coach, but then at the same time, you know, players got to step up and play. Guys are going to get opportunities, you got to step up. You know, without forcing it. You know, without forcing it. What I've talked about more than anything with them is who's going to make up for Greg's rebounding. You know, I think a lot of times people start thinking about scoring and this, that, and that. Who's going to make up for Greg's rebounding? And that's what we focused, at least the discussions with them.
John, just talk about the player, the two guys sitting next to you, and how they stepped up because they think they've done scoring a lot in the last couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're back into their rhythm. We went through those two losses, but particularly the guy to my right had two bad games, you know, and we're not going to win too many games. And I'm thinking about the Pittsburgh game in particular right now, where you know, probably your best 3 or 4 players all had bad games on one night. We're not going to win, and so and that's not just to totally dismiss everything else that happened to that game. I understand that, but I think both of these guys were very good today. You know, we come down in the end right there, and both Otto and Nate foul out, and I get terrified. You know, but we took care of a couple of situations, you know, where they had traps. Markel was strong with the ball. And then, I don't know the exact numbers, but I feel like for the most part, you know, we made our foul shots coming down at the end right there.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Aaron Bowen's effort off the bench today? He hasn't seen a lot of time this year prior to the last few games, and, you know, he's come on strong and hit some big shots.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing his job. You know, as someone goes down, we got to have another guy ready to step up. And so he's getting the opportunity to play, and so he's doing, you know, he's made some big plays, and we expect him to make plays. And I think that the guys that are out there are confident in him, and he's confident in what he's doing. So, you know, I'm happy to see that he's, you know, taking advantage of what's been given to him. But but at the same time, it's expected.
Can you elaborate at all on Greg's situation? What changed in the last 24 hours from being, if anything changed, from the suspension for violation of team rules to academically ineligible?
Well, a couple of things. One, insufficient academic progress is a violation of team rules.
Okay.
So that didn't change. But I think that the situation, you know, we got a couple of reads this morning, a couple of results this morning, you know, where it became more definitive than it was yesterday or prior to that. And so at that point, there was no need to put that out there until we got a read on exactly where we stood. And so we got some news this morning, and so that's probably the change.
Does he have a chance to come back?
Yes.
Coach, to piggyback on the reporter's question, Coach in the prior news conference, he talked about Aaron Bowen, and he also talked about Smith Rivera and their contributions. He thought they were very physical in the game. Could you talk about that situation?
Cooley did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought both of them, gave us good minutes. I feel like, and I'm looking at the stat sheet for the first time. Devontae had 4 rebounds today, but he had 10 rebounds last game, and this, even with those 4, some of those were key. He got a key steal. I believe it was off a foul shot, maybe some off a missed basket. And so they're basketball players, and so they may not have seen the minutes, and you guys aren't as familiar with a lot of what they are doing or can do, but those guys, stepped up, and other guys are going to be ready, willing, and able when they get their chance. Be it Moses, Domingo, or anyone else that we put in, they're going to be ready. John Caprio is going to be ready.
John, your thoughts on your team's composure late in the second half? They cut it to 8, then Nate gets a rebound off a miss and makes that 1-on-1. You go on a little run, you get 15 points there.
I don't think at any point, sometimes you go through games and you feel like, oh, we're losing our composure. I did not feel that way. I thought we were getting opportunities, and the ball wasn't going in. We were getting the ball right to the rim. We did make some bad decisions. A couple times we got a little too deep, against the press. We should have pulled it out and worked the clock a little bit. But we have a group of guys that have been through it, and we're starting, I hope, just to get an understanding of how important every possession is.
Questions for the players?
Mark, can you just talk about the offense, the difference between these last 2 games compared to where you guys started out in 20?
I think it's obvious that we're playing at a much faster pace than what we had probably early on in the season. And I think that's just with, the guys, us as a unit, playing more together, being more cohesive. And we will continue to get better. So as long as we keep sharing the ball, playing together, we'll be fine.
Our coach mentioned that felt that Providence was junking up in the second half. How do you feel you guys handle that? And also, when they cut it to 8, your kind of mindset, and then you eventually get on that run to pull away a little bit.
We knew that they were going to, make a run. We knew they was going to give Cotton, open shots. We tried to, stay with him. He got good looks. When we got down, when they came back, we just tried to keep our composure and just started trying to beat the clock.
Starks, against their 1-2-2 when they were doubling you, sometimes tripling you, what was your mindset in terms of handling the pressure?
Find the next open guy. Make the game simple. And at times that's hard because so many bodies are flying around. But guys are getting open, so just making the easy play.
How gratifying have the last 2 games been for you guys, just considering playing without Greg and how well you guys have managed without him?
The whole team stepped up, and continue to play like we've been playing, and everything else take care of itself. So, we're just going to continue, even with Greg out, we're just going to continue to step up and play Georgetown basketball.
Markel, how good is it for this team to start shooting the ball the way it's capable of shooting? Like John said, a lot of factors went into that.
Well, I'm sure it's a relief for the fan base and you all as well. So, but no, it's also a relief for us as well because, we have guys that can score the ball, we have guys that can shoot, and when the ball's going in, it definitely puts some smiles on people's faces.
Anything else?
Thank you.